What's going on, guys? It's your man, Ed Hayes, the wholesale coach here, back for another episode of the Wholesaling Mastermind podcast, guys. And I am glad to be able to say that I've got Brandon Barnes out here. Gonna be able to we're gonna have a great conversation today. He's gonna be dropping some gems. He's a real estate investor himself. He's wholesaling out here. He's getting major deals, guys. So I was really looking forward. I'm going to let him introduce himself in 1 second, but I was looking forward to bringing him out here so he could put you all onto a few gems, and we can try to give you all as much value as possible. So what's going on, my brother Brandon? How are you doing?
I want it all. Expensive trip, exotic calls when I took that loss.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I appreciate the intro, man. I'm just ready to, chat real estate, let you know how things are going here and, how we can continue to win together.
Yeah. Okay. So, but like before before we start like deep diving or whatever, for the people who may not know you, can you kind of just give them like a little bit of a background? Like who are you?
Yeah. So I was born near Chicago, raised here in Atlanta. So I've been here my entire life. I've moved around a bit. I mean, I should say that I went to school up in Indiana at Purdue, worked a few corporate jobs, Heinz and Kraft, and back down to Georgia for another company. And I had an opportunity to jump into wholesaling into real estate investing, right? In early 2016. And my kind of corporate background was operations and supervision and leadership. And so it kind of translated to kind of creating my own business here in Atlanta, real estate investing. Nice. I can get into the whole thing, my initial mentor and how things, got going. But, that's kind of when I really got into real estate investing in early 2016.
Okay. So you've been at it for a few years now as well. I've been in it since 2016 myself as well. Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, man. It was a magic year, man.
Yeah, it was a great time.
For real, man. So okay. I'm glad to hear that. So I know that I came across you. I was on Instagram, and I came across you because I saw that you had closed like this big enormous deal, like 50 grand or something like that. I was like, oh my God, like who is this guy? Like he out here getting money. Like
yeah.
This guy, so I reached out to you in the DMs and whatnot,
Yeah.
So yeah. I wanted you to be able, maybe you can kind of unpack that a little bit. Like, how did you come across this deal? Like, what was the details on that?
Yeah, that was far and away probably our biggest deal to date. From when I was doing things myself to now I have a team that kind of supports me and does a lot of the acquisitions. That particular deal was one that it was out-of-state owner, and they were just kind of ready to be done with the property. And the guy just didn't want to come back and deal with it. It was just a straight-up cold call, owner-occupied list from ListSource. So it really wasn't nothing special about it. I think what made that one magical is we listed it on the MLS, and the house was in a shape to where, with just a little bit of a clean out, it was ready for an owner occupant to come in and purchase the home. And so, we had so many buyers, like they were beating down the door. They were, stepping on a neighbor's grass and everything. And that one just got bid up. I mean, it got bid up from, we got it at like 120, got it all the way up basically to 200, a little shy of 200. And then we had real estate commissions because we listed it. But we knew that it was one of those deals that a lot of agents, a lot of owner occupants would want, to bid on it. So we didn't want to just limit it to the buyers list that we have. And that thing got bid up, man. And I think it was like closer to 60K, maybe like 58 and some change. So that was definitely the biggest deal thus far.
Man, that's a big boy right there. That's no joke right there.
Definitely.
So like when you say that, like, so you listed it, I'm curious, like when you listed it, did you did you all like kind of take it down yourself first and then list it, or did you list it like through the seller?
We did. We took it down. So I mean, and so that is, I guess you would consider a wholesale deal. And right, but it's still wholesaling. I think, if you're not doing major improvements to the property, like we literally, just walked in, helped the tenants move their stuff out. We used some private money to purchase it, and we relisted it immediately. But I was gonna say, like, that's not the only, big boy that we've had this calendar year.
Nice.
So far this year, we've had two other, two 50K wholesale deals, hotel deals, a $70,000 flip, which was very minimal. And then another one that, we pulled like 70K out of the transaction, but it was more so like, it was closer like in the 40K range because we spent a little money there. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's been a good year, man. 2019 is all that, man.
Man, I see you out there, bro. You working.
Yeah.
Man, that's why I'm glad to have you on, because I know that a lot of like my audience in general, just the wholesaling community in general is looking into trying to find out how they can get involved with these big, enormous deals. And, like everybody kind of gets into it with that in mind. Like, okay, how do I get those big, enormous checks? Because they see people like yourself, posting these huge checks and stuff like that or whatever. So it's a very interesting topic and subject. Like, do you focus on like primarily like the wholesaling right now?
No, it's just we treat, each deal as it comes, and we'll decide like what's the best way to go about it. But I mean, I would say for these bigger type of deals, all you need is consistency, guts, and a little bit of luck. Because I say that because we're consistently generating leads, we're consistently making offers, and we have the guts to make an offer at a number that we know will work. And then sometimes you get lucky. That's that formula. That's that magical formula that I think is helpful. So for the people out there, like for any listener or viewer, it's, when I started, I used to say like, hey, if I think I could sell it for 100, I'm coming in at the buyer with the homeowner at 90. I used to like work a 10K margin. My original coach was like 10K all day. If it's not 10K, don't worry about the deal. And that's how you make sure you get some assignments. Well, my other coach, my original coach was Tom Kroll. My other coach was Todd Toback. He said, man, try to spread that to 20K. And so we're going in with like a 20K margin as our maximum allowable offer, our mayo. And so we're offering less than that. And if it rides, great. If it doesn't, let's move on to the next one. But once we had that mindset shift and, we had the guts to make the harder offers, they started to come.
That makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. I like that. I really, really like that the psychology shift right there. That's a really good way to think about it. Like if you're automatically baking in 10 grand into every deal, then it's like you really increase the chances that like if it doesn't fit within this range or whatever, then you won't mess with it at all. And as long as you got like a good funnel where it's enough leads coming in at the top, you'll definitely be able to get it. But then even increasing it to 20, yeah, that's pretty genius right there. That'll get you up to those big boy deals in no time. I didn't know that Tom Kroll was was one of your mentors at the start. That's pretty crazy. I just had Brent Daniels on here like a few weeks ago. So that's what's up.
Yeah, man. He's the one that I followed into cold calling. I was originally doing a lot of mail, and I started to hear his story. He came up through Wholesaling Inc. as well, and I started to hear his story. And I was like, I could do that. And I reached out to him. He was an open book. That was before the TTP course. And he gave me some really good advice. He gave me some good, some metrics, how to do it. And I just followed it from the late 2016 to early 2017. I was setting up a cold calling operation. And now, it's kind of on autopilot.
Right. Yeah, see, I try to tell people all the time too, like if you really want like an automated, if you really want a business in general, it's going to take some time to set that foundation strong enough to consistently stay getting deals. You don't want to just be a one-hit wonder. You know, and a lot of people, they kind of teach ways that turn you into a one-hit wonder instead of like making sure that you're sustainable for a long time. So I'm curious though, like at the beginning, you know, early, like, so 2016, right? Like, what was some of the struggles that you had at the beginning? Like, for the new listeners, you know, like, what was some of the things that were like, like, I don't know what to do about this, and like, what did you end up doing about it?
Yeah, I mean, early on, it was always just trying to, you know, like, working on that next deal, working on that next deal. So early on, like, I was doing heavily direct mail, and, you know, I got some deals here and there. I continued to like listen to like other podcasts and stuff like that, not to like take me off course, but just to understand what other avenues were out there. And I stumbled across a guy named Rick Ginn, that dealt with like probate letters, and it was like personalized letters for probates. And so I started to send those out, and like I started to do deals that way, less mail, less costs, but still some nice solid deals. So for me, like originally, it was just finding like what was going to be my niche. And so I found that, and then I was consistent with it. Everybody talked about consistency, you know, going on appointments, making offers. And so early on, it was, you know, I think I just needed somebody to tell me like, hey, just do this and follow it and stay and move forward with it. And that's when I found my groove and found some consistency, you know, then deals started to come, like then new leads, old leads in between. Like I started to get some consistency, and then I was able to have some money to like expand my team and do some marketing, like do different types of marketing. And then that's when I got into cold calling, and I've been consistent with that since 2017.
Nice. So it was essentially kind of like trying to figure out what the niche was, because it was working for you, but it was just kind of like figuring out what that one single kind of like niche was until you end up being able to kind of expand the base, essentially.
For sure, yeah, because it was hit or miss. I get to do a deal, maybe do two deals, no deals. Like that beginning part of 2016 was rough. But once I found like that niche, which was probate leads, and it doesn't have to be everybody's on the cold calling, everybody's on the probate. Your niche could be, you know, sending text messages or ringless voicemails or anything like that. But like once you find what you think will work well for you, your schedule, your time, your resources, like it's just being consistent with that. And so like once I found that, man, I was golden.
Nice. Consistency is key. I say all the time, you know, like I personally like Facebook ads, like Facebook and Google ads are where we're being able to generate like a lot of traction right now. And then we just recently started adding in text messaging as well. But it's just like you say, consistency is so important. I say that all the time. Like you got to be consistent. You got to be willing to spend those marketing dollars. You know, scared money don't make no money, as they say.
Right. Very true.
For real. So. Okay. So, man, so I'm wondering, like, I like to ask like certain questions to everybody who comes onto the podcast. So it's like one question I definitely want to ask you, and it's like, for someone who wants to get started, like as a wholesaler, just getting started in the real estate game in the industry, right? Like, what would you say would be your best advice to them if they want to get started? Like, what should they be trying to do?
Yeah. For me, I mean, there's so many avenues and lanes to like how you get in and how you market. You know, for me, it's just like find that one thing that's going to fit your schedule, your resources, and be consistent. And I know this is kind of what I just said, but like, I really mean that, because some people don't have the budget to send a bunch of mail and wait for the calls to come back. Some people don't have the time to sit on the phone and dial all day. But like find like, be aware of what's out there. And that's, educate yourself, find a good mentor or somewhere you could just follow a process, and stick to that one thing and be consistent with it. Because there's so much information out here. Like definitely as you're getting going, like I listen to a few podcasts and stuff like that. But then I found a mentor. I followed step-by-step instructions. And I just did one thing and I did it well and I did it consistently. And that's kind of what led me, to glory.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's some great advice as well. Like a lot of people I feel like it's really easy to get scatterbrained out here. Like if it's so many different sources of information, everybody's saying different stuff. It's like, okay, who do I trust? Who do I believe? Which avenue do I take? And then it's like, do I even have the resources to do that and stuff like that? So it's a lot of different things to consider. So I definitely agree with you when it comes to like getting around people who are doing it already, like having a mentor, having someone who can kind of help you along the way and figuring out like what that niche is and what you actually are capable of, like what works for you. Because everything works. That's what I tell people all the time. Like everything works. Like literally, it all works. It's like, what works for you? What do you want to do? Like it's your situation. So just get out there and being consistent and actually doing it and not just talking about it and watching YouTube videos about it.
Right. That's super important.
One thing as well, for real. So many people.
Important.
Yeah. We spend so much time learning. It's time to take some action sometimes. So.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, though, bro, man, I really appreciate it. I'm trying to see, I like having people like yourself come on, just to get some varying degrees of experience and knowledge and, even like deal amounts and stuff like that. I think the last person I had come on, he was like a 20-year-old who was getting like 2+ deals per month. You know what I mean? And then like, you yourself, you got that more experience, you're getting bigger deals, so I want to be able to provide as much, I want to be able to provide as much value as possible to the community at all times. I'm always thinking about that. So is there any like gem or nugget that outside of what we've been talking about, at least, is there any other like gems or nuggets that you want to drop on the podcast, like before we, begin the process of wrapping it up?
Yeah. For us, I think the big thing that kind of also took us to the next level was, when I started off, like, I was a one-man band. I went to every appointment. I talked to every seller. And it wasn't into like the end of 2017 when I was like, enough, man. I gotta fire myself and get out of, my own way and let somebody that is just focused on making offers and following up, because they always say like the money is in a database, and that's very true. It's just following up and making offers to everybody. So the quicker that you can take that plunge from doing, everything in your business to like actually having somebody in place to do that for you, you'll double and triple your productivity. So, it's as simple as that. Like a one-man band, and only gets you so far for so long. But the people that I've seen blow up, like they got a team behind them, and a team, it could be a team of one or two to do stuff while you're working on the business. They're working in the business and going out and acquiring more opportunities. So the quicker that you can replace yourself, on the acquisitions front or whatever, hire for your weakness, the better off you'll be. Because at this point, my lead manager is on average getting 2 signed contracts back per week. And for us, and that's just with one guy and 2 cold callers supporting him. Wow. And so, we're closing, 6 deals, sometimes 4 to 6 deals. Sometimes they're chunkier. But that's how our business looks right now. As I just actually brought on 3 other people that start next Monday, actually. And so like once, lock that process in place, I'm trying to grow that. So, this business is about people. And that's really with any business, honestly. You don't have a business until you have the right people that are doing, where the machine is running without you. So focus on that. Like, don't, be trying to, run around here chasing deals, chasing dollars for too long. Get good enough to be able to teach the next man, the next woman how to do it for you while you sleep.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's a golden gem right there. I swear, y'all gotta be listening to this, man. He putting y'all onto the game. Like that's the secret sauce in all reality. Like you say, bro. Like I truly agree, like 100%. The people that I've seen blown up as well are the people that got out of their own way sooner than later, and brought other people on to help them facilitate the deal. Like everything that I talk about is always about automation and delegation. You don't want to be doing all of this stuff yourself. You don't want to have to be filling out all of these forms. Like have automated forms online. You don't want to keep having to come with the same sales pitch over and over and over. Put a video on the internet. Let them watch that video. You know, like little automations. Or instead of like manually texting people, get a text messaging platform and you can just send massive things like that, and hiring the right pieces onto the team. That's one of the golden gems, right? That's one of the best gems that we've had dropped on this mastermind. I really, really mean that. You know, I feel like people don't really take that into consideration as much because I think a lot of people automatically assume that it's going to be extremely expensive. And so like one thing that I do is that like everybody who comes onto my team, I hire them on a commission basis right at the beginning. So I kind of make them prove themselves and like kind of pay for themselves right at the beginning. So it's like, it's not necessarily expensive. But I was going to ask you though, like for people that may be wondering about like your system, you say that you've got like one lead manager and 2 cold callers underneath them?
Yep.
Okay. And then like, so I'm curious, like around about like how much like is that budget for you to have to pay them, or like how do you structure that? As a commission, or do you do hourly base? Like how does it work for you?
Yeah, I mean we've done it all. We've done some component of commission and some base. Then we remove some of the commission out and increase the base. We've also given bonus for them hitting their hours. Like we wanted the bonuses to be like on something that they can control. Like if you're dialing, like, I just need to see you dialing for a certain amount of hours. If you do that, hey, here's your bonus. Right. And so that's how we're structured now, but it really doesn't have to be expensive. I would tell anybody starting out, budget for, if you just wanted like one acquisitions person, somebody can support themselves off of, anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 per month. Like they can actually live off of that. Like, somebody that's going to be capable and competent to be able to be your mouthpiece in these streets. Right. And so that, one person, call it 2,500 for, each of those people. And that's kind of where they started, actually, maybe a little bit less in the beginning. But, for me, if I totaled it all up and I said 3 acquisitions people and, VA, the other systems and tools, like you can be all in this business and exactly our model for like less than 15K per month and making 6 figures a month. Like that's where that margin lies. Like you can do a lot with a little, in this model, and it could be even less. Like it could be like 12K, honestly. So for me, and the big thing was pay them enough to where they can support themselves and they can be full-time. All the experience, everything you pour into them, it sticks. They're improving their skills as they go on. And then they're professional team member and they're taking this seriously and they're all in on your business. So, it can be a little expensive in the beginning, but I would prefer a full-time person over like 2-3 part-time people because I can pour into them and make sure that they're improving their skill and their craft and they're producing for us and our business. Right. Over the long run.
I like that. I like that a lot. Like the employees are everything. Like literally, like, LLC, like businesses in general are considered people, right? In the eyes of the government. So it's like literally the people of the business really, really make it who it is and how far it goes and what it's capable of doing. So like spending good money on good quality people. Yeah. It's like, it's nothing like if I got to pay $25.
That's the best money you ever spend, right?
Yeah, I swear. Like for real, it's nothing like paying people to bring you back money. It's like an investment. You're pretty much investing in these people. And,
sure.
you know, that's why I like getting quality people. So I'm going to be hiring my people on like Glassdoor,
Mm-hmm.
like Indeed. Like I'm going to like quality sources to get these people. And I'm going to
Right.
pay them decently. Like, don't get me wrong. Like at the beginning, people got to prove themselves still. Like I bring everybody in kind of like, can you do this? Under like a can you do this type basis, right? Once they
Right.
prove that they can do it and they kind of get into the system, now they're baked in with a base paid plus commission. But I like how you got like bonuses in place. I kind of like that. You know, I may have to
Yeah.
utilize some of that.
Because at the end of the day, like it kind of helps you budget a little better if you
Yeah.
know that, you know, hey, if this person is doing what they're supposed to do, it's going to cost X versus the more deals we do, the more money we spend.
Right.
And our folks like that consistency because there were times and there were periods where we wouldn't do as many deals, you know,
Right.
as they were, you know, counting on. And so they got less pay. So it actually worked out to where we kind of removed some of the commission and it just gave them, you know, a bonus, but knowing that they were going to perform, you know.
Right.
So
That makes,
I think that helped out.
yeah, that does make sense. And when people when they can go back and talk about you about like how good of a boss you are, then it's like the word starts to spread and you can get even better quality people coming into your business and stuff. I've noticed that as well. People
For
talk,
sure.
you
Right.
know.
There was somebody I did a panel the other night for Young Bucks Nation, and there was somebody that asked me a question like, "Where do you find your people? You know, you get them on Craigslist?" Or I was like, "Nah, bro." Like you can like early on, like you can post ads out there. I'm not saying that there aren't good people that's gonna apply for jobs that are on Craigslist or on Facebook. But to your point, like our team has been built out of Indeed. Like
Yeah.
these were people that were looking for a real job, and we gave them a real opportunity to make money for their family. And
Right.
for that, we got great value back, man. And you know,
Yep.
it's best investment. You know, we invest heavily in our people, and they perform for us. And you know, that's what this business is. It's a people business, right?
Yep.
You
That's
know,
so
so
true.
you get good people.
Yeah, that's so true because, like you say, a one-man show, one woman show can only go so far. It's only so many hours in the day. It's only so much time that you can give to the business, no matter how much you want to give. I mean, you're only gonna get that same 24. So, like
Right.
hiring on people, I say to people all the time, like you are literally multiplying yourself.
For
Like you
sure.
multiplying your efforts, but that's gonna cost money. Like people are literally like giving up their life, quote unquote. You know what I mean? It's like a portion of their life is being devoted to you. So it's like you got to pay for that time. You got to pay
Right.
for time.
For sure. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. Like I'm pivoting. Like I have a monthly meetup. It's called REI Live Atlanta. And we meet
Nice.
once a month and we bring in speakers. Like Tom Crow already came and spoke at the last month's event. And I
Yeah.
think Brent's coming out soon. And we're
Nice.
just, you know, creating community and giving back. And so like I wouldn't be able to do some of those things and offer, you know, coaching and give back my time and my knowledge if I didn't have good people that I could rely on to keep the business moving forward.
Right.
So, you know, I'm super excited about this next phase for me, you know, to try to like grow the brand and keep that going. But, you know, if I didn't make that initial investment up front, I wouldn't be able to do, you know, I wouldn't be able to even be here right now. Like I'd
That's
probably be
so
running
true.
around, you know, at closing appointments and seller houses and dealing with
Right.
tenants and toilets, man. So
So
I'm happy.
why don't we talk a little bit more about that though? Like that next phase, like you were saying, like I know like earlier you were telling me about like an event that you've got later today. You saying that you got like your monthly meetings and stuff like that. So like talk more about like building the brand. Like what do you have in the works right now?
Yeah. So I now like I do like a weekly live stream on my Facebook. If you search you know at I am B Barnes, I mean it's up there on Instagram or Facebook. I'm trying to give back the information that you know that I've been given, and for me, you know, they're a lot of my coaches and they're supportive of it. Like I've talked to Tom, talked to Brent. Like they're like, man, yeah, use your platform. If you're not trying to coach and help others, then you know what are you doing? And
Yep.
so they're very supportive of giving back, and that's the best way that I can kind of give, you know, my time to other, you know, people that are trying to get into the business and build that community. because without that, I wouldn't be here. And so I'm trying to pass that off to the next person through that meetup. And then I'm going to do some coaching. And I feel like my gift and what I was, good at initially was acquisitions, but now it's like building that system to consistently produce results.
Right.
And the people and the hiring. Like, I would love to be able to show the folks that, are doing just a few deals here and there, how to actually turn it into a business. Because that's, I'm here, I'm at this point now, and I think that is one of my greatest accomplishments, and I want to be able to give that to other people. So, that just started this year. I was not on social media prior to probably you seeing that video. I was always on Facebook and Instagram, but I didn't use it to highlight what I was doing until maybe May or so of this year.
Oh, nice.
And so now I'm enjoying it because people are coming, and I've been able to help a few newer folks to the game, do a few deals, hold their hand through closing, help them find a buyer, get in with a good closing attorney. And I'm liking it, man. So that's the next phase for me.
How can people get coaching from you then? Because as soon as you said that, I'm like, boom, my eyes lit up, because I'm sure that a lot of people that may be listening to this will be extremely interested in getting that. So how can they go about getting some coaching from you?
Yeah, if you go on my Instagram or on Facebook, but mainly Instagram at IMBBarnes, there's a link tree, and that goes to, the website where you can just fill out a little questionnaire. I want to make sure that if I'm providing coaching, I'm able to help folks that I think, will have the ability to do, what is necessary. So there's a few things that you need. You need resources, right? You either need time, or some resources to hire. And so I want to make sure that I'm helping the right people and I'm not giving anybody false hope. So if you go there at IMBBarnes and click on the link, I'll just get some information and just ask a few questions about, if you think that, this is a fit for you and you'd be able to be successful. I love to help you, hold your hand through that process and get you going. Especially if you're here in Atlanta, I can help anybody do a deal in my city, but even abroad, even in other states, I don't know if I mentioned this, but my 2 cold callers and my lead manager, none of them live in Georgia.
Nice.
And we do all of our deals here. So like I've also kind of mastered the art of doing virtual deals. All you need is a boots on the ground and a good closing attorney, and you can do deals anywhere. So I'd love to share that, virtual wholesaling, building a team, and having a strong acquisitions process, man.
Bang. Okay, man, bro. You definitely know what you're talking about. It's extremely clear that you are quite knowledgeable about the whole game. And I have people apply as well, because I don't like to give people false hope. So I'm glad that you've got like that filter kind of in place to kind of make sure that, it's only going to be people that, you can genuinely help. So,
but the thing is, as you know, man, bro, it's not rocket science. Anybody can do it.
Yep.
Anybody has the ability to do it. It's just, do you have the time or the resources to commit? Are you willing to commit to be consistent?
Yep.
To do this business? Because anybody can. So the filter ain't really all that. It's just, I just want to know from you, like, are you gonna be able to do this? Are you gonna commit?
Because we can't do your push-ups for you. We can't do it, even though we want. Like, we would love to, but we can't. We can't do push-ups.
Right.
For real, man. So that's how it always is, and it kind of. It hurts me when people come on and then they don't take that massive action, because I always think like, if I had me when I first started, playing like, man, that's a big blessing though, that that you've been like coached and trained by Tom and Brent. Like, those are some of the premier guys out here, like genuinely helping people get to those big boy checks. Seriously, I had a great conversation with Brent, man. He's a really, really good guy, man. Like. So it's like, and if you're learning from them, you out here getting big deals too, obviously, the community, it's people out here that'll help you guys. That's all I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like, it's more than enough resources out here. You guys just got to take advantage of them. It was a question that I was thinking about asking you too. You know, it was right on the tip of my tongue. It was like kind of important, but that's all good. But it had something to do with, it's all good. If it comes back to me, I'll ask you and I'll edit it into the video afterwards.
Right.
Anyway, though, but yeah, man, bro, but like, I'm really glad, you know, that you've been able to come on here and provide like a ton of gems already. Seriously, like, you know, I'm going to be gaining some gems myself from you. You know, I plan on building up our relationship continually, you know, and trying to do more deals. I've got, you know, clients out in Atlanta. I got buyers out there, you know, all the time. You know, I get deals that come across in Atlanta. I do some deals out there. So, you know, me and you may have to do
Right. I would love that.
Like, dead seriously though, for real.
Sure.
So yeah, so and then also you was telling me that you were planning on starting up a YouTube channel. Is that the YouTube channel in the background too?
Yeah. So when I do those live streams, like I'm just pulling them down and putting them on YouTube. So there's other options for people to be able to listen to it. Cause you know, I know sometimes live stream, you know, people aren't there, but that was just kind of a small, you know, a small time commitment for me. So I'm doing it every Monday at noon, and I call it Acquisition Manager Monday. So I'm showing people how, like, the proper steps to go out and acquire your first deal. But I want to add to that. I want to add, you know, even if I do dispositions or, you know, marketing, and just give people gems, just give it away, you know, for free, so that, you know, people can just kind of continue to get some of the right ways of working in this business so that they're headed in the right direction. And then if anybody wants some more information, like I said, just reach out, DM me, and I'd love to, you know, set up some time to chat, and just like we have a few times, right?
Right.
So yeah, I'm the YouTube channel is Investor in You. It's called the Investor in You program. So the I in you, because I think everybody, like I said, has what it takes to do it. You know, the investor is in you. You just got to unleash it, you know, and put that system in place, be consistent with it, man, and you will do deals.
Man,
guaranteed.
Hey, I love it, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Look, I'm eager. I'm like, man, look, I'm about to sign up right away. Like, I'm over here like, oh man, look, like, I'm not even gonna lie, man. It sounds great, man. And honestly, like, you know, the way that you hold yourself, you like extremely articulate and like you can break things down very well already. So I'm dead serious when I say that, like, I'm really looking forward to being able to gain some gems from you. Seriously. So I'm going to be subscribing to the YouTube channel. I'm going to add you as like one of the featured channels on my channel. So if you guys are listening to this by then, he should already be on my featured channel. So you can just find him there. Yep. And like, I'm going to join the everything. Let's put it like that. I'm going to be checking out your stuff. And I want you guys, if you listening to this, watching this, I want you all to check it out as well. I'm going to have all of Brandon's links in the description of this video, podcast, whatever you're listening to it. Check out the link so you can connect with Brandon as well, guys. Like, this guy is out here dropping gems on the community, man. So I'm so glad to have you out here, bro. Like, seriously.
Appreciate it.
Seriously, man. I really appreciate you as well, man. So I'm trying to see, let's see how much, I wonder what the time is looking like now. How long have we been on it now? I wonder, I can't even tell. I try not to go too long because then people start to get viewer fatigue.
We're probably getting close to the 30-minute mark, man. But you know, like I said,
okay, that's nothing. I thought we was at like an hour already. Man, we've been dropping gems.
Well, I'm always here, man. Like I said, to be able to give back, and like I said, I want to point people in the right direction, man, to build their business. So, just check me out whenever. We had the event tonight. Life in There is going to be here tonight, and they talk about kind of creating that ideal life and then building a business to support it. You know, a lot of times that's through real estate. I think there's a book that they have out. So, we're just getting ready for that, and doors open at 6, and I like to put on a good event. So, just ready to come out here and help some people.
That's nice, man. Putting on events for the community, getting things going, man. I'm really liking the movement, bro. I really mean that genuinely. Like, I'm really, really liking the movement. I appreciate the fact that you're putting the content out there. You're putting yourself out there. I feel like in this day and age, like, we need more people that's actually going to just put themselves out there. It's kind of like a vulnerable spot to be in, But it's like when you do it, it's like you are mightily rewarded from the community, first off. But more importantly, it's like that internal gratification of knowing that you're out here helping people. And I can see that you're one of those go-giver type of people, just like myself. So I really appreciate you being out here, bro, for real.
Already, I appreciate it.
Well, damn, bro, I think that's about it, man. I think we're gonna wrap it up, brother. But man, once again, though, I really appreciate you coming on. Guys, like if you're listening, watching, make sure that you check out Brandon Barnes. I am B Barnes on Instagram and Investor in You on YouTube. And I'm gonna have the links so y'all can just click it. Just go ahead and click. You know, why you hesitate? Go ahead and click it now. It's the end of the video. And go ahead and click it now. It's all good. I won't be mad.
Right. Already. Cool. I appreciate it, man.
Man, appreciate you coming on, brother. Yeah, man, we're gonna have to do this again soon, though. Like you know, we're gonna let this kind of burn for a little bit, let people kind of get a feel. You know what I mean? Let the traction go up from this. And then I really, really want to have you come back on in the future, and maybe we'll be talking about a deal that we're doing together, you know?
Exactly. By the next time we come on here, man, the business should be done grown threefold at least.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So let's make it happen, bro. Well, as always, guys, until next time, we are out.
All right.